Well, good morning. This is Pastor Jim at PastorJim.com, and I'm standing here in front of our Honeycrisp apple tree, and it's coming along. Not doing as well as the peach trees, but I did a post the other day. I'd love to get the blossoms on those. Man, you can see they're doing great, really opening up. I have a great post about blossoms, but wanted to do a post about Johnny Chapman today. And you might not recognize the name Johnny Chapman, but if I put him in the group of Paul Bunyan and Pecos Bill, now you're catching on. You might know him better as Johnny Appleseed. And he's one of my favorite tall tale heroes because he's not really a tall tale hero at all. He was an American missionary and a church planter. And you might know him if I do this. This is how he's characterized. In fact, there's a minor league baseball team now that's named themselves the Tin Caps because they're his hometown. But he was a real person and a real hero. Why was he a real hero? Well, we have a picture of Johnny going around with a bag full of apple seeds and scattering seeds all along the ground. And that isn't part true. You see, he did go ahead of the settlers, and he planted apple trees so that when they arrived, they would have fruit and encouragement. What a great ministry. I want to have a ministry like that, and I can, because that's the ministry of church planting. Going ahead of somebody and putting something there that bears fruit so that they can come along and enjoy it later, and that is in fact what church planters do. But something I wanted to share with you that you may not know about Johnny Appleseed, that these stories get wrong, which as stories often do, especially tall tales. Just so you know, Paul Bunyan didn't drag an axe behind a giant ox and create the Grand Canyon. Sorry to burst your bubble. But what they get wrong about Johnny Appleseed is the way that he distributed seeds. He did not, in fact, go along spewing seeds and throwing seeds on the ground. That would have been disaster. Seeds need a lot of care, and small plants need a lot of care. And that probably wouldn't have gone well at all. A lot of wasted seed. Well, what Johnny did is he went ahead of the pioneers and he established nurseries. He cultivated the small trees and got them going, and then he left them in the care of nursery owners. And he started many, I don't know if dozens is the correct word, but of nurseries. And then he would come back and check on them and make sure the trees were growing. And then he would give these trees away to the settlers and the pioneers. You know, this is a memory verse that you probably have never memorized or ever heard before, but Galatians 1:2 says to the churches in Galatia. And that's a good memory verse because what Paul was doing is writing to and establishing small churches. And that memory verse is good because it shows us that there were small churches. And that's what we're supposed to be a part of. Hebrews says, forsake not the assembling of yourselves together, as some are in the habit of doing. And a lot of people don't want to be a part of a local church. But that's how you care for and protect small little saplings and seedlings, trees. So you want to be a part of a local church. And 2 Timothy 2:2 says, that which you have seen and heard, commit to faithful men who will in turn be able to teach others also. You know, the process of Christianity is to lead someone to Christ and then nurture them in the faith. Don't just leave them. Billy Graham has confessed that many of his crusades, he saw a lot of spiritual babies born and then abandoned on doorsteps. And he called us to do more discipleship. And so anyhow, remember that as you think about Johnny Appleseed and apple trees this year, that we want to be leading people to Christ and then nurturing them in the faith in the way that Johnny Chapman did, by putting them in protective nurseries and caring for them until they're strong enough to brave the weather and the sun and drought and all these things. Anyhow, just a great note today from PastorJim.com. A little long on this one, but have a great day.